Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the crude oil inventory report for July 14th, 2021. This is John. I'm sitting in for Troy today, as Troy is traveling. So we're a minute or so away. And the report should be coming out now. Wait a minute, something's not right with my 377. All right, well, let's see what. Not much to there goes. And trade today hit the stop on its short trade and will stand down till 11 a.m. Wow, really small, just almost no reaction at all to the crude in the inventory report this morning. There we go. That's where it should be. And the 8-tick has a possible short, and we can take trades now. Now, looks like we hit money management there. So we are flat on the 377 Spotlight has shorts potential on the 5 tick, and it's triggered in on the 8 tick. That's a trade off the 200 EMA. Not much doing here. This is about the slowest I've seen the inventory report almost ever. And there's a short, 74.74. And that did trigger in. So money management at 64, target at 59. And taking heat, but we're see if the 377 200 EMA will hold just above the 200 EMA on the 8 tick spotlight. All right, coming down to the entry again. Okay, just really slow moving action today. Well, it looks like it's starting to work its way through. And moving down, 74.67. Need 64. Three more ticks. We got within three. And we just reached the money management level for the 8-tick crude trade. That triggered in at 77, so the stop will now be at 76. And actually that 76 was also target 1, so the 8-tick crude is POQ. And just stopped out for break even on that. So the 8-tick is finished. 377 still working. And I'm not seeing the chat. There's the chat. Yes, John. Troy is gone all week. Sorry, wasn't. I had another chat window open and it wasn't updating, so I hadn't updated the chat window from this morning. Let me get my chat window back up. so I can see what y'all are trying to ask. Looks like it's been rather active this morning. That's interesting. We're using forexfactory.com, Mr. Yosef, and I haven't looked at that myself this morning. Actually, I looked and it was showing as early as 10:30 as usual. Refresh this. So we got a 10 tick minimum target and 1 tick stop on the 8 tick crude. Yes, it does. It says tentative now. Awaiting delayed data. So apparently it hasn't come out. Yeah, that's unusual. That's why we didn't get any kind of reaction. So nothing has come out yet. Still showing awaiting delayed data. So looks like the 5 tick has stopped and reversed into a long. It's been delayed. Here we go. It has been delayed until 11 a.m. this morning. And that was tweeted out at 10:41 this morning. So we were already in our trade. So we'll go ahead and work through this one, and then I guess we'll stand by till 11 a.m. And that has been delayed by the Energy Information Administration. So that's the people that put it out. So they must have had some sort of technical difficulty this morning. Yep, that's exactly right, William. Delayed to the top of the hour. And there is a potential stop and reverse. We'll take that as straight, just an exit. Cut our risk. And there it is out. See if I can get the order in down there. Won't let me get it. So we can just go ahead and close it. All right, so that gets us flat. Small loss. Should have been about 8 ticks or 160. I ended up not getting out for a couple more ticks for 200 net loss. Let me pull this. Bring Forex Factory over here. And as it said, as mentioned, it says now tentative and delayed until 11 a.m. So, any questions this morning? Oh, that's interesting. It's going to come out just as Fed Chairman Powell starts his testimony this morning. Oh, and apparently it was released 4 hours. No, I'm sorry. That's going to be at noon, so we got an hour after the crude oil report. But that's been apparently already been released about 8 a.m. this morning. All right, let's take a look at. 5-tick crude got a target 2 and is now trailing. By testing as any other, our basic trade plans for a number of years, we were using the 5-tick range chart on or 5-cent momentum bar on crude for spotlight. Counterpunch has been using the 377 tick chart since it came out like 6 years ago. Okay, Troy's in the room. Hey, hello, Troy. We're seeing what you see. We are seeing your posts in the chat. I will stay out of the chat because if I put anything in the chat now, it'll come up with the same labels. So that'll be easy to tell that it's Troy posting. Have you been in long enough to hear that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, basically back testing, but the trade plans that we've been using for some time now in Spotlight, we've basically stopped using the 5-tick or 5-cent range momentum bar because it's just too slow or too fast rather, and the trades are too small at this point. Troy, you may or may not know that the inventory report has been delayed until 11 a.m. this morning. So we actually took a trade, and then before that came out, that notification didn't come out till about 10:41. So I basically took the stop and reverse from short to long as just an exit point, and we're waiting for 11 o'clock. Yeah, it showed. I kept refreshing Forex Factory, and it finally had a news story that came up, as I say, it was EIA tweeted out at 10:41 that the report would be delayed till 11 a.m. I had checked it early this morning and everything was fine. So with the room, I was busy going from the room to the report and didn't have a chance to look at Forex Factory again. So we're coming up in about 2 minutes to the report. And I have the usual suspects on screen. Counterpunch 377 that Troy normally runs for the inventory report. The big chart on the right. Top left is the 5-cent momentum bar or 5-tick range bar. Yeah, that's the second unusual occurrence this year because we had, or I guess that was last year, but election day week we had had it delayed until Friday. So that was been an interesting few months. Yeah, I don't know if you saw Don's comment, Troy, but Don said the inventory report waited for you. All right, we've got 18 of us in here now. While we have a pause in the action, this is a good time to hit the like button. Yeah, we got 9 likes on the inventory session. We only had like 3 this morning on the regular session. So do hit that like button if you feel like you're getting benefit out of this. It does help the channel. Okay, yeah. Kenneth, Troy is answering your question in the chat. His first answer was up at 10:54, and then he's given you a link to a YouTube video that he has out. Yep. I don't know. We might have a reaction there. Let's see what Forex Factory has to say. Yep, still no numbers yet in Forex Factory. Interesting. Another tweet after the first one that announced the 11 a.m. time at 10:43. EIA said, "We expect to post the report." So we're into our time frame now. Apparently, the report's not out yet. Still no numbers on Forex Factory. Ah, Fred, where are you getting that, Freddie? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on their homepage. The source would be Energy Information Administration. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're showing 11:30 now for the release time. Not nice. Well, I'm in a position where I am going to have to. No, I have to get ready for a. I've got another meeting coming up. Yep, they've updated it to 11:30. And they've actually changed the schedule now to 11:30 this morning. So we will hold off. Well, yeah, we're already at 11:15. Let's see if we can see what happens when they finally release it. Yeah, it says 11:30 now. It said this morning it said 10:30, and then The first thing that came out was a tweet at 10:41 that it was delayed till 11 o'clock. And then another tweet a couple minutes later, they said they were expecting to release it at 11, and then shortly thereafter, it rescheduled to 11:30. So we have another 15 minutes to wait. And taking a look at the pound Aussie, I had a long setup, but didn't trigger in before 10:20, and therefore we'd stand down on it, which was fortunate because it triggered in, missed money management by 3 ticks, and then came back down for a full stop. So now we're back after 11 a.m. and looking for a new trade, and looking like we may get a long trader coming up momentarily. If this bar closes up above the, if it closes up, it's definitely going to be above the balance line. Another 10 minutes. I don't have a whole lot of other charts to put up because I had pared the charts down on this to just what I needed to run the report. And actually, we were finished with everything that we had except the pound Aussie and some of our later mini sessions. Our 9:30 mini session on the micro ES for Catapult would have been possible, and we were holding off on the crude mini sessions because of the report, which we ended up, as it turned out, we ended up taking a trade that would have been our 10 a.m. session trade. That was a 10 tick minimum target, 10 tick winner. So that would have put us to 11, and we're not going to do that, waiting for the crude inventory report. So this is about all there is right now. And our audience keeps growing, up to 20 of us in here now. For those that joined late, the crude inventory report has been delayed until 11:30 this morning. First indication of a delay came out at 10:41, expecting 11 o'clock, and then subsequent to that sometime they changed the schedule to 11:30. Are you talking about trade room template, Ron? There's not actually a workspace, trade room workspace that we've put together for download, because right now there's 3 different packages that it could be. It could be, depends on whether you're using the old SL calculator, the SPT, or the SMS. Oh yeah, if you now that depends on how you have. Yes, the CPT package is available for NT8. Obviously, since I'm running Counterpunch, it's the indicators are available for NT8. I'm running Counterpunch on NT8 here today. That's what this 377 tick chart is Counterpunch. Okay, yeah, then you can go if you've got the original CPT from 2015, you can either go to the original website, and that should have the latest update for the full CPT on it there. Actually, no, there's not but one CPT. I'm thinking of Spotlight. But yeah, the original CPT you should have, depending on which owner website you're using, you should be able to pick it up, the NT8 software, on either one of them. The old Kajabi site. Troy doesn't have access to the old Kajabi site anymore, so that's why the Contra site is the current site, and that you should still have a login to one or the other. You should definitely have a login to one or the other. So yeah, you can load the you can get the download the indicator set for NT8 from either site. No, the NT7 templates will not work on NT8. Now, you're looking for the indicators, or are you looking for a template for it? Now, of course, as has been the case all along, you can look at the trade just the spreadsheets on each trade plan, and that you can set them up from there. That's what I had to do coming through. But yeah, I know it's available because I actually was one of the first beta testers for CPT when we ported it over to NT8. Yeah, no. As far as I know, right now, the template there aren't any. Uh, when you say template, you mean you actually workspace, correct, or are you talking about uh, a particular chart template? They're not any downloadable chart templates or workspaces. For he, are you talking about my workspace for? I've got a workspace for uh, for the trade room, counterpunch trade room for NT8. If I can send you that. All right, I can do that because I did set that up at one point, so I could answer questions when counterpunch questions came up in the trade room after we had transitioned, because I didn't actually start doing room until we were already in Spotlight. The one I'm using today, the only thing in it for counterpunch is the 377 tick for crude. Now, Ron? Do you have the original uh, Spotlight or not? Okay, because I use the old Spotlight. The Spotlight charts on this workspace are using the old SL calculator, so they wouldn't work on yours. And there is a long setup on the pound Aussie on my chart. Okay. Report should be coming out momentarily. And there's 11:30. That looks like a reaction. But still no numbers available on Forex Factory. Ah, there we go. 7.9 million barrel drawdown. Much bigger drawdown than expected. So we will wait for 11:32. Oh, oh my goodness, Law. This has been an interesting one. Did you just get in? Did you just come into the room? This is actually our crude oil inventory report session. That's actually about an hour later than usual right now. We've been waiting the last hour for what the report that was originally scheduled for 10:30. But that our initial reaction looks like it was. Well, no, that was prior to the. So we had not much of a reaction for the 11:30 news, but significant drawdown in inventory would indicate price that should be put some upward pressure on prices. And there's a short, and that one we can take. 74.59. And actually, we would be a get in sync on the initial long, and that just triggered in. On that up move right there. So I will get rid of that because that's. So our trade is actually the. Come on now. That was a get in sync with the trade prior to our start time, so I really don't like that, but it is a valid trade, and it gives us a pretty good sized trade. Oops, that's the entry. And there's target 1. And that's also our money management level. We got to work up through the 200. Yes, that's a long for buy. This would have been a stop and reverse to short. That has canceled. And here is a new stop and reverse potential. Histogram hasn't crossed over yet, so that's not a valid setup yet. And there's the setup, and it's way too far to catch. So no trade there, and we exit the long trade. Cut your risk. Yes, the get in sync long was a buy, Mr. Yosef. And that, unfortunately, was a full stop or a reduced stop if you exit when the stop and reverse plotted. So it took a few minutes before anybody started doing anything. We're heading down, which seems completely counterintuitive to a large drawdown in the inventory. But that's where we are. And we are currently flat. Five-tick crude has had no trades since 11:30. Eight-tick crude, 11:32 is right there. So that would also have been get in sync long, very small stop and reverse loss, but nice target 1, target 2 on the short. Short now at the session low, 74.08. I'd go to 74.07 if I can get it there. And moving down in the short now. Money management at 89. There's money management. Stops to 74.06. Okay, now it's showing 74.07. I would have to stop at 74.06 with the adjusted entry. Target is 78. 73.78. Okay, stop now is at 74.06 for everybody. 74.03. That was our money management. And trade today with a long on the pound Aussie. And a stop at 74.1. That's a partial. And unfortunately, we picked up a full or partial loss, depending on where you got out on the initial trade. And we have a long. I would want that to test the lows again. Looks like 74.02. If you're working strictly by the trade plan, you're in the long there. From 74.02, target 74.13. That's money management at 74.13. Target at 74.19. And there's money management if you're in the long trade. $74.19. We got looks like to 18. So protect your. I'd protect the fixed target position and take it out at target 1. Stop now at 04 for the trailer. Trailing position only now. $18 again. If you didn't get out the first time, there's 19. So target achieved if you stuck with it. There's no telling why it dropped. We don't care why. We're just following the price action. That's all we're trying to do. So 17 ticks to target. Our loss on the long was 22. So 44 ticks. 74.08 for the current stop. Or let's see. What was our entry on that one? $71 was the entry. If you exited on the close of that bar, be about 57. Yeah. So another 14 times 2 or 28. Oh, yeah. So you'd either be, or 8. Let's see. Yeah, either down 44 or down 28. You picked up a few and stopping out at 09. So we picked up 08 down to, picked up 14 ticks. So you'd be down 30 or 10, or 14, excuse me. Picking up 17 if you would be POQ now if you had exited on the close of this bar. You'd be 30, 13, 02 to 09. There's another 7. So you'd still be down 6. Yeah, we got 2 winners out of it. Depending on if you traded and how you traded this initial long that was a get in sync, you could be POQ or not. Power POQ, of course, as Troy mentioned, being power of quitting, trying to reach a certain profit goal. Yeah, okay, but that get in sync wasn't even first reaction. That was a trade prior to which is what I was thinking was not take that one at all. The report hadn't even come out yet. So given that, we would have POQ on the short trade successful to money management, and a long trade to target 2. So POQ. $14 ticks on the first trade, 17 plus 7, 24 on the second. So 44 tick net. So on two positions, $440. It'll be interesting to see what the new micro crude does. That just launched for trading on Monday. And we are done. Yes, there should be, but I mean, it's going to be way back. Trying to think. Troy, do you remember offhand, or can you find anything on the crude plant? What you might do is go back and watch several of the crude session, mini session, or inventory session recordings that are already on. Yeah, there's several. I wouldn't be trading a micro CL yet. It's just been out for 2 days. We have no idea what it's going to do, whether it's got enough volume or what. I would wait for it to get a little bit of little history behind it. Don't transition right away. But yeah, Mr. Yusuf, I would go back and look at. I'm not sure Troy doesn't even have it. Troy may have a watch list or of videos for the crude oil report on YouTube. But if you go back and look, most every week that for the last few years that's been recorded on the back. Yeah, if we go back and look at the 8-tick crude chart, there's that's initial reaction, so I would leave that one alone. And then you have first trade after is 1135 short, getting, actually I think that one is, yep. So getting 10 and 16 ticks for targets 1 and 2, normally trading 2 fixed targets on that one. So 26 ticks, 1 and done there. Successful on the 8-tick. The 5-tick, let's see what it did. It didn't get anything until this long. Money management at 74.11 from a 74.01 entry. And then pops up through, hits the 11-tick target, and then we'll see where it gets to on the trailer. There's 12 ticks on the trailer. And gets up to 14 for 13 ticks on the trailer, 11 on the target, 24 ticks there. And POQ, YouTube, POQ on all 3 charts up here, the 2 spotlight charts and the counterpunch 377 tick. Any other questions for Troy or I? If not, I have a meeting coming up in just over an hour, so I am going to have to say goodbye this morning since we've gone almost an hour and a half. For what we're usually here for 30 to 45 minutes for. Everybody have a good day, and I'll be back tomorrow morning. Normal 9:30 a.m. session. I'll be in probably around 9:25. Catapult Energy's boot camp coming up the end of the month. Just 15 days away. Two weeks from tomorrow. All right, everyone have a good afternoon. And we will see everybody tomorrow. Regular session. That's good. Are you getting data for the August contract in TradeStation yet, Troy? Because I am not getting it. Okay, so let me see if I tried it yesterday, Tuesday. Yeah, yesterday. I would agree. I would expect it to become quite popular because it will definitely open it up for a lot of new. Yeah, so I'm going to have to talk to NinjaTrader, or actually Kinetic, and see what's going on with data for MCL. All right. We will see everybody tomorrow.